foreign troops in Ukraine. Will they be deployed or not? The topic of a Western contingent as a security guarantee is at the top of discussions. Let me remind you, Ukraine, France, and the United Kingdom have signed a declaration of intent to deploy multinational forces in the event a peace agreement is signed. Some countries have also expressed their willingness to send their peacekeepers. However, there are also those who are against it. They say that much still needs to be discussed at the political level. Everything that is known at this moment is coming up next in the report.
The United Kingdom will allocate £200 million for the preparation of British troops for deployment in Ukraine. This was announced by the UK Minister of Defence during his one-day visit to Kyiv.
I am proud of how the United Kingdom has come together for Ukraine. This war is costing all of us dearly, and we are doing everything possible to help Ukraine in its current struggle and to ensure peace in the future. The agreements reached this week will help pave the way for Ukraine. I hope that with President Trump's support, Putin will come to the negotiating table and start a serious conversation. After all, he is the only one who can stop this brutality and put an end to the killings.
The funds are planned to be allocated for the modernization of vehicles and communication systems, as well as protection against drones and other equipment. The deployment of troops in Ukraine is envisaged after a ceasefire with Russia.
We are ready to send British troops as part of the multinational forces in Ukraine. Their goal, to strengthen the Ukrainian forces. They are the best means of deterrence, the best protection for this country against future Russian aggression. This is part of the security guarantees for the Ukrainian people, and an important stage in building Ukraine's defense capabilities. Their goal is to nullify any attempts by Putin to start a war again.
Meanwhile, Le Monde has learned what Emmanuel Macron discussed with representatives of the political forces represented in Parliament, whom he gathered after forming the coalition of the willing. There were also those present who least supported the idea of sending French troops to Ukraine. According to media reports, the French president presented them with a plan to deploy several thousand soldiers in Ukraine after a peace agreement is reached.
None of those present at the table expressed any fundamental objection to the mechanism presented by the head of state. Some parliamentarians even saw in the coalition of willing countries a possible alternative to NATO.
The publication notes that Paris may send about 6,000 French troops, but the issue still requires further debate in Parliament.
We will not be on the front lines, but we are here to help the Ukrainian army, Macron emphasized, assuring that international forces would support the Ukrainians far from the front line.
However, Russia has repeatedly stated that it is against the presence of foreign troops in Ukraine. The latest report from the American Institute for the Study of War notes that the recent medium-range ballistic missile strike on the Lviv region is an attempt by the Kremlin to deter the deployment of foreign forces in Ukraine. By attacking Oreshnikov, analysts believe Russia hopes to intimidate the West. This view is also shared by the Ukrainian president.
Once again, it was demonstratively close to the borders of the European Union. And from the perspective of using medium-range ballistic missiles, this poses the same threat to Warsaw, Bucharest, Budapest, and many other capitals. Everyone should understand this equally and take it equally seriously. If the Russians aren't even trying to come up with a plausible reason for using such weapons, then no personal connections or rhetoric will shield you from this. There must be a system of joint actions, a real and effective system of collective defense.
In addition to Britain and France, which, according to media reports, are ready to send about 15,000 troops, several other countries have already expressed their willingness to join the multinational forces for Ukraine. These include Spain, Belgium, and Norway. At the same time, Germany is currently only willing to station troops on the territory of NATO member states. There are no specifics regarding the size of the contingent, and many countries are still discussing this decision at the political level. Veronika Ivashchenko details, Intermarathon TV channel, United News.